So fishing, bass fishing specifically, has really been the common thread of my whole life, and that all started on a fishing trip with my dad when I was about 16 years old. Right in the middle of a great trip, he says, "So what do you think you want to be when you grow up?" Because he was thinking about his work at the time, and I'm like, I don't know, a dentist? I don't know, Dad. And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, just promise me that whatever you do, you'll do something you love." And those words really guided the rest of my life. Certainly, I think this office reflects the fact that this sport has been a part of my life since I was a teenager, before it was even my profession. You'll see a tournament entry form from when I was a 16-year-old kid to the early Lowrance product. I started my career at Lowrance Electronics in Tulsa. Just so many mementos from my time spent covering professional tournaments for 17 or 18 years. The time I spent at Terminator Fishing Lures, you'll find a lot of that in my office. You know, I've been so fortunate. I've made my living for 30 years in and around bass fishing, and one thing that I always observed or noted was the women that stood behind some of the most successful men ever in the sport, whether it was Sherry Van Dam, wife of Kevin Van Dam, or whether it was Tammy Cook, wife of Ken Cook. I always realized, man, if you're going to pick a life's mate, talking to myself, you better have a woman like that understands this sport, understands that you've got this passion for this, that it's not going to go away, and it's going to be a very dominant part of my life. So if I find a life's mate, she'd better understand and hopefully support that, but ultimately be a part of that. I've talked to guys that said, "I don't want my wife in the boat or out there in the woods with me. That's my time." I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. I'm a people person. I like sharing this passion for fishing with other people. And so I knew that if I were to ever find a wife, that I wanted her in the boat with me. I wanted her to hopefully develop that same passion.
Babe, if I catch a big one, will you let me join a tournament one more time?
I guess so.
How big does it have to be? Any fish? Any size?
This evening?
Yeah.
If you catch one 4 over this evening, we'll fish another derby soon.
Oh, 4 over? Holy cow.
You can catch a 4. You've caught your fair share of 4s in the last 2 years. So obviously folks ask, how did you meet Sherry? I'm going to be honest with you. I met her on Match.com. I'm like a lot of people. For years I thought dating sites were corny and that I would never do that. And then somebody actually said, "Guck, you're a good dude and you know what you want. You should get on a credible dating site and find somebody who's truly right for you." And so kind of on that piece of wisdom or a dare, I did, and that's where I met Sherry.
Oh, did you see that? When I threw, did you see it?
No.
Yeah, all the bait just jumped when I threw it just now.
Spook some bait?
Yep, right there along the edge. So if you met my friends before Guck, and they would tell you that I was very glittery. I loved shoes, I loved clothes, I loved sparkly things, and I still do to a certain point. Babe, I've been wanting to fish in the sticks so bad.
Have you?
Remember?
Fishing in the sticks. Not the standing timber. Not the stick-ups, but the sticks. Fishing in the sticks, says the Share Bear.
Fish in the sticks. When I met Guck, I just felt like I could be me. I didn't have to prove that I was anybody. Guck loved me for me. I didn't have to be sparkly. I mean, who wouldn't want to come out here? It's so peaceful and quiet. When I've had a really rough day at school, I'll come home and tell Guck, I'm like, let's do this. Let's go fishing. Because it literally just, babe, did you see those? it literally just gets my mind off of everything. I don't know, it's consoling, I guess you could say. Well, I am the Mars Elementary School principal. I absolutely love Skytook. I love the people. I love my teachers. I love all of my staff. Woo-hoo! Very quiet in the hallway, people. I was very young when I decided I wanted to become a teacher. I didn't have a lot of self-esteem at the age of 4 and 5. I went to 3 different schools when I was in kindergarten, and I had a lot of just hard time making friends. Have fun! Have fun! And when I got into the 2nd grade, I had a wonderful teacher. Her name is Mrs. Little at Bixby, and still friends with her today. And she literally just made me just feel like I was special, and that, you know, she loved me. And so I hung on to her every word. I hung on to everything that she did, and I came home and I would reteach it. I would play school and I would reteach everything. My grandma always said she never had to wonder what happened at school because I would come home and mimic everything that had happened. So that's why I got into education. I just love working with these kids who maybe are in those same home lives that I had. Have fun on your field trip, enjoy. Have fun, sweetheart, enjoy. Guck and I met on Match.com. I still laugh when I hear that because it's definitely somewhere I would never thought that I would have met anyone. But my daughter got me set up on it, and you know, literally saw him on there. He was on there one day, I was on there a week. And within 2 weeks, we'd canceled our accounts.
When I first met Sherrie, I knew that we had some common ground. She was a Grand Laker, so I knew that, you know, she at least liked being on the water. And her youngest son, Wyatt, had fished some of the BFL tournaments, so she knew a little bit about what tournaments were and what they involved, but she certainly was not an angler. I don't know that she'd ever actually fished, per se, outside of maybe on the Arkansas River as a little girl.
But fishing is such a huge part of his life. And so I knew that if I was going to know anything about Guck, that I needed to get in the boat with him. And so I started watching him, and I watched him, and I watched him, and you know, watched him catch the biggest fish he's ever caught in Lake Skytook, a 9.5 largemouth bass.
And when I got that 9-pounder in the boat, Sherrie said, "Oh my gosh, this is more fun than shoe shopping," and I love shoe shopping. She was shaking.
That's what I was used to having a thrill for, right, was the shoes. So I got to watch him catch that, and to watch him do that, it just excited me. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, could I do this?
But in that moment, something clicked in her mind and her soul, and that started the fire.
Babe,
You got one, baby.
Look at him.
You got one.
Get the net. Hurry.
I got you.
Hurry.
Reel him to
I'm
me.
too much to the reel. Oh.
Good job, baby. Good.
I think it's the best I've ever got. Oh my God. So when I'm out on the water, I just love the simplicity. I love nature. I love waking up and getting in that boat in the morning time just before the sun comes up and watching that come up. There's just so much to the nature that you can't see unless you're there, right, in the moment. I have just got to enjoy so much of the goodness of, you know, of nature, what God made for us. And, you know, Guck has taught me to slow down in the sense of just enjoying life, not things. You know, he and I love being with each other, and this is something that we can do together, you know, as a couple. They're biting.
Yeah, so if I'm to be very transparent about it, you might guess as a middle-aged dude, this was not my first marriage. I've been through some heartbreak in my life, and so if you're watching this, I don't know where you're at in your life, but if you think you're going through a tough time in your relationship or your marriage, or maybe you are divorced, I hope that we provide some hope, man. We're just two hardworking people that love what we do for a living, and we happen to find each other. I certainly don't think it was a coincidence. But I just want you to know, man, that there's somebody out there that's perfectly matched to you, and I really encourage you to find somebody that is compatible. That's a word I use a lot, is compatible. Maybe fishing's not your deal. Maybe you like to play golf, but I can't imagine doing life with somebody who's not soulfully compatible with myself, passionate about fishing like myself.